Board of Commissioners. Would all those who are willing and able please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. After our prayer, if we could please remain standing in recognition of the loss of lives of our fellow Americans in Hawaii, please. Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decisions, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority. And may we use our directives for the common good and for thy honor and glory. Amen.
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 Thank you all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here. Okay, our first public comment portion. This is one of the fun parts here. We have some certificates of recognition to be presenting, and if we may, start off with Dr. Kathleen Malik. For over 23 years of service as a member of the Lakeland Board of Trustees. Whereas Dr. Kathleen Malik has been a dedicated member of the Lakeland Board of Trustees since March 31st of 2000, when she was appointed by the Lake County Commissioners. She served as chair from 2003 to 2005, and again from 2016 through 2018. And whereas she was recently awarded the Distinguished Service Award from Lakeland Community College, which demonstrates her admirable commitment and unwavering passion for Lakeland Community College. Dr. Malik has served on many boards and received numerous awards throughout her career. Now, therefore, we, the Board of Lake County Commissioners, in and for Lake County, Ohio, joins with family and friends to extend our genuine and heartfelt appreciation to Dr. Kathleen Malik for her hard work, kindness, and dedication to Lakeland Community College and to Lake County. Ma'am, the microphone is yours.
See if I make it this one, right?
And you can pull that microphone.
I was going to say,
down.
I'm never
Yeah.
as tall as these are. I used to be 6 foot.
I see. A few cutbacks.
You eat the right foods, and this is what happens. No, all I can say, I'm very humbled by this. I've enjoyed almost all of the time that I've been at Lakeland, and I'm sure I enjoyed working with Dr. Beveridge. But I thank you. I'm very humbled. Thank you.
Bless you, man. Bless you. Well, I feel compelled to add, you are a true woman of faith, and you do possess a servant's heart, and that shines through loud and clear, and I do believe that bears mentioning here and now. We are blessed for you to be in our presence, and thank you for all that you have done for Lakeland, as well as our community in general. Your career is truly distinguished, and you have honorably and commendably carried out your duties. And for that, again, we say thank you. Gentlemen, anything you want to add?
Mr. President,
Sir.
I remember at the Lakeland graduation seeing the announcement that Dr. K. Malik was being recognized with the Distinguished Service Award, and it struck me how many people give back to their college in one way, but Dr. Malik has given back to Lakeland in every way. She has taught, she has studied, she has led. Speaking as a fellow professor, to see someone who has taught an entire career and then said, I'm not done, I'm going to come back as a trustee for over 20 years to husband and shepherd this institution to make sure that it will be successful for the future. It's a very powerful thing. So I want to speak not just for the county commissioners here today, but the many that have come before those that appointed and reappointed you for decades. There's so much gratitude for the service that you have given, and I hope that today inspires other people to serve in the same way.
Thank you. Commissioner Rekovich.
Dr. Malik, thank you so much for your time on the board. I can remember my time at Lakeland, which is well over 30 years ago or so, and how much I enjoyed being at Lakeland and how much I learned at Lakeland and how that's an institution here in Lake County. So you're a big part of keeping that going. I look for bright things in the future because of the work you have done, and thank you so much for serving all that time.
Thank you.
And ma'am, you know, you've probably heard we have a tradition. It's not official until this gets presented and we get pictures, so come on up.
Your family can join you if you would like. We'll go right in front. That's the best picture. We get the logo and everything in the back.
Dr. Beveridge up and your family here? Sure. Okay, we'll start out simple. There you go. Good. You mind?
Absolutely the rules. You're next.
Can we get some family photos too while you're here? No, come on up. Come on up. Here.
It's good to see you in person.
Come on in. Come on, we don't bite on this side. Come on, Doug, stand between Rich and I. We'll have all kinds of fun with that one.
Wait, let me sew my pocket.
Just so you know, we had 6 kids, 1 son, sorry, 5 daughters. And then we had how many, 20? 29? Yeah. And how many great? 10.
Congratulations.
They did say once we finish the pictures, we could leave. Then they can get down to business. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Yeah. My goal was to make sure our students learned when I taught,
Oh, bless you.
and they did. If they didn't do something, I made sure they came back and came back till they did it.
Oh,
I went to a store recently, and a gentleman was walking out, and he said, "You taught nursing at Lakeland." I didn't even know who it was. But that was like 10 or 15 years ago. Which was
Oh, there you go. Again, a round of applause, please. Okay, so we've got a couple other certificates and other stuff. Can we just add that in under the special resolutions? And we'll do the certificate now.
Let's do it now.
Okay, John, the floor is yours.
Mr. President, I move to adopt Special Resolution Number 1, resolution in celebration of the success of the Lake County Fair.
Second.
Okay. Discussions, deliberations, all that fine stuff. We got a bunch of good stuff here, guys. We're going to come back to that second. We're sort of ad-libbing here. Our poor clerk is just ready to throw something at us. So,
Mr. President, if I may read the resolution, because I think the words of our clerk are more eloquent than any we could muster. The resolution in celebration of the success of the Lake County Fair. Whereas the 2023 Lake County Fair was held from Tuesday, July 25th through Sunday, July 30th, and 99,372 people attended. A new daily record was set on Sunday, July 30th, with 39,856 people in attendance. And whereas the kickoff parade took place on Tuesday evening and people rushed to make their way to the fairgrounds. The harness racing card was the best in over a decade, featuring 103 horses, trotting and pacing over 18 races, and 106,000 awarded in prizes. The baked goods auction received record support, and the truck and tractor pull had its strongest participation in attendance in years. Sunday's demolition derby sold out, with over 3,000 people in attendance for the third consecutive year, and broke the grandstand record for total revenue. The 4-H livestock auction raised $414,000, shattering the previous record. And whereas Commissioners John Hamercheck, John Plechnik, that would be me, and Rich Regovich took their turns at being the voice of the fair. In addition to the voice of the fair, I'm proud to say that I won the 4-H livestock auction for the Reserve Champion Project Goat that was raised by Olivia Somrak. Whereas attendees also enjoyed other special events held during the fair, such as the annual Senior Day, Kids Day, Latino Day, KOI, Dirt Drag Racing, and Horse Pulls events. And whereas the success of the 2023 Lake County Fair would not have been possible without the support and dedication of the Fair Board of Directors and staff, Georgianne Adams, Michelle Byram, Wade Crowfoot, Bob Dawson, Todd Demshar, Jim Farrell, Jeremy Hyduck, Jerry Merhar, Steve Ohms, Dick Parker, Mike Poplowski, Rob Sidley, Rob C. Sidley, James Slansky, Joe Slansky, Sam Taylor, Rich Van Pelt, Dave Wilcox Jr., and Cindy Woodman. The Lake County OSU Extension also played an important role in the continued success of the fair. Now, therefore, the Board of County Commissioners in and for Lake County congratulates the entire Lake County Fair Board and staff on a very successful and record-breaking year. But we're not quite done, Mr. President.
oh, please continue.
Because in having the honor of winning the Reserve Champion Project Goat from Olivia, we had to do a little homework into her extensive service to 4-H and Ohio State Extension. So we wish to honor Olivia today. Whereas Olivia has been a member of 4-H Livestock Program for 8 years, including 3 years as a Clover Bud. She is currently a member of Our Gang and Junior Market Livestock. She has held various positions with these clubs and currently serves as the vice president of Our Gang. And whereas throughout her 4-H journey, Olivia has raised chickens and hogs, this year she took on a new project, very successful I might add, by raising market goats. She learned a great deal from this new project and spent many hours in the barn figuring out feed, bathing, walking, bracing, and exercising the goats, even walking them on a treadmill, believe it or not. Now, therefore, the Board of Commissioners in and for Lake County commends Olivia Somrak on her successful 2023 4-H livestock auction.
Wow. Anything you want to add, sir?
I'd just like to add that the fair was interesting this year in that we had record days of heat. I think we haven't seen the heat since that Friday. And then we had rain, a lot of rain, and but we did get the parade in. We got the Senior Day in, and we had that turnout despite of the weather. So it just shows you how people are excited to get to the fair, and record-breaking livestock. That's incredible. So
Excellent.
kudos.
Anyone from the fair want to chime in? Wade, come on up.
Well, it was an unbelievable fair. I can say that for the weather we had. I wasn't expecting some record days, but everything pulled through. I got to thank, at first, the 3 commissioners for their support, the Lake County engineers and the 2 inspectors that ran the project for the asphalt work, Ted and Aaron. It turned out beautiful. We do have some overhead aerial pictures that the Sheriff Department took. I'll get some copies brought to you guys here shortly. But again, all this couldn't be brought the way it was this year without the support of everybody in the county. So I thank you, and thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you, Wade. And one of the things that we did when we were talking Voice of the Fair, I echoed this quite often, we, the Board of Commissioners, could not engage in those projects that are making a difference if the Fair Board wasn't bringing us, hey, here are the needs. And that level of communication, that fidelity, it's great. We really appreciate your working with our engineer and their team. So we have a very special thank you from this board to the Your Fair Board. So we appreciate all that you do. That means a great deal to us as well. Anyone else want to chime in? 'Cause you know you're going to get pulled up here for pictures. So you might as well go when you got the microphone. What do you think?
Well, as you stated, we did have a wonderful fair. Our 4-H program, like Commissioner Ragovich said, we had record-breaking heat, we had rain, and I will say it was still the best, probably the best, one of the best fairs I've had in the 10 years I've been doing the program, and that is because our youth and parents pulled together, like with the rain and the things that were kind of not. You can't plan for. And we still, like you stated, had a successful auction. On top of Olivia's, come up here, Reserve Project Champion GOAT, we also had 35 other kids who had either a Champion Project, Reserve Champion Project, or Reserve projects all together. So we have many youth who did that. So, and as a result, we had a very successful auction. So I don't know if Olivia wanted to say something.
Sure. I thought the fair went very well this year. There was a lot of laughs and cries. Fair is a very bittersweet time for me. I love taking my animals to the fair and, walking in that ring and say, hey, this is it. This is everything I've worked for on this summer, and now let's see what I can do with it. And then on Sunday, it is a little hard because I do have to say goodbye, but just reflecting off of what fair happened this year and everything that happened, I thought it went very well, and I'm very proud of myself and everyone who helped me, and yeah.
Awesome. Well said. Thank you. Uh-oh.
Oh, thank you so much. Mr. President,
Sir.
if I could just repeat, I think that, Olivia, you represent the spirit of 4-H, the pledge that you and all of your colleagues make to learn and to grow together. And we remember that the Lake County Fair isn't just about having fun, it's also about bringing up that next generation of farmers and agriculture, because no farmers, no food is a literal statement. It is, if not the most valuable career, it's certainly up there, because everything else depends on that work. And your passion and your hard work has made a huge difference in a record-breaking Lake County Fair that will inspire kids to come after you and farmers to go before you. So very grateful for that sacrifice and hard work. And to the President's point about the Fair Board, I want to say I think that you embody the spirit of Bob and Polly Sidley, that dedication of the longest serving Fair Board director in history, 61 consecutive years. God bless Bob and Polly. We lost them last year, but their legacy lives on in the Fair Board and all the joy that you bring to Lake County families to this day. So thank you for the Fair Board, for the kids, for everyone coming together to make the Lake County Fair, and yes, I'll say it, the best fair in Ohio.
Thank you to everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So, Madam Clerk, if you want to do the roll call on that one, then we'll get back to our public comments portion.
I wonder if this will pass.
And of course, the photographs. We didn't forget the photographs.
All right, I'll read the title. It's Special Resolutions, Resolution in Celebration of the Success of the Lake County Fair. Commissioner Plechnik, I know you made the motion, and Commissioner Regovich seconded. So, Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammerton.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. And as I said before, it's not official until, come on up.
And by the way, one of these resolutions is for the Fair Board. A second one is for keeps for the Ohio State Extension, and we have a third copy for Olivia along with her personal resolution.
I guess I'm the one who's gonna balance it out today.
Congratulations. We have one more to go. John, Rich.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm sorry. Didn't want to presume.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll see you at the next fair.
All right, Mom's got to go to work. Thank you so much for having us.
And thank you to our clerk for your letting us kind of mix it up there a little bit.
Thanks again, guys.
You're very welcome. Thank you, sir. Okay, we are still in our first public comment portion. That's the last of our special activities. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the board at this time? Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Lois Osborne. I live at 334 South St. Clair in Paynesville. And I attended last week's commissioners meeting. And I just wanted to set the record straight on a couple of things that Mr. Massey and Mr. Mara were talking about. I walked into the middle of a conversation on the Bluest Eye, and it was spoken about. I guess there was a section read, which seems to be what people are doing. They're doing, short text interpretation, and you're not really seeing the whole picture. But there was a mention that this book was available to 3rd and 4th graders in Mentor schools. So I'm always one to dig in to get the real answer for anything. So I contacted someone from the Mentor exempt public schools, and I'll read you what was said when I mentioned, there was a great discussion on the Bluest Eye. So our superintendent set the record straight for Mentor schools Tuesday night, and that wasn't this past Tuesday. That was a couple of Tuesdays ago. 10th grade AP English and 11th grade English are the classes that can read the Bluest Eye from a book list. Both require a parent's signature before the student can choose the book off the book list. The book has been in the high school library for 40 years and only checked out 9 times, 2 of those being in December of 2022. After Moms for Liberty shared their list of books they were banning in schools nationwide. It's kind of an interesting little fact. That's all I wanted to mention right now. I'm sure you'll hear from me in the second public opinion.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. President,
Sir.
if I could just say, I do want to remind the public that Lois Osborne joined us last time because of her excitement in the new Red Raider Gardens, the new community garden, and we are equally excited for that too. So we thank you for your service in establishing that new nonprofit and group to make sure that kids at the school and surrounding areas have access to this new facility. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Massey?
Brian Massey, 8196 Rainbow Drive. Since my name was just mentioned by Ms. Osborne, I feel compelled to say that she is absolutely incorrect. We never said that the book was 3rd or 4th grade. This is not really the forum. This is supposed to be for agenda items, I understand, but I ask for your liberty to say that she's misinformed. We never said 3rd and 4th grade. If we want to make this a forum where we can tell everybody all of the books that are in mentor schools, we'll be glad to do that.
Yeah, no, we're not doing open mic night. Sorry.
Yeah, I understand that, but I just want to, since she mentioned my name,
That's fair.
thank you very much. She's mistaken. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, anyone else wishing to address? Yes, sir.
I'm Chris Weiss from Leroy. We had a question for Mr. Gills. Mr. Gills, in the recent meetings, it's been announced that...
Through the chair, please.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. You addressed the board.
Okay.
If you
So
don't- just-
in recent meetings, it was stated that $1.3 million was funded into the road,
Yeah.
partition for roads, and that the engineering was completed on the Williams Road project and that it would be going to bid. And I was wondering, has that been put out to bid? And if not, when will it go out for bid?
Sir? And thank you for understanding.
Yeah. First of all, yes, the plans have been completed. They were on my desk Monday when I came back from my 2.5-week vacation. I am in the process of reviewing those plans and drawing a plan to move forward. We have a meeting on Tuesday to discuss the various options. We are not probably going to put it out for bid. We are going to do a negotiation because it is under an emergency, which allows us to directly deal with a contractor, and as soon as we get a satisfactory price, he can go to work right away. Because it only requires a purchase order now that the money is secured. So we're wrapping, we're trying to finalize things and move forward. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that after Tuesday.
Awesome, thank you. Second part of that was to ask, what's the path forward on the other road projects? What kind of was stated a number of weeks ago, the budget director was on vacation, had to wait for that person to come back, and that would be evaluated. Any updates on that?
Okay, where we are on the other two projects basically is as of Friday, we just got the final plans for Payne Road and the final estimate. I have not had a chance to review those as of yet, being that I'm trying to play catch up. After we get done with this Williams thing, then we will look into the finances and what the needs for Payne Road. And if everything is okay after I review it, we will then meet with the necessary people to draw a plan for financing and moving forward. Excuse me. Most likely that will go to bid. It's a different kind of project. The reason that we're doing Williams the way we are is it's a plug pile job, and you know what those are as being an engineer. So it's there's only a couple of people in the area that do that, and it's just as easy to negotiate it. The other side of the Williams thing is that is a direct route to the new school in Concord, and we want to get that open as soon as possible so that the buses can continue and not do a big detour.
And school starts on Thursday next week. I know you won't have it done by then.
Now, relative to Ford, we do have an engineer working on the preliminary stuff on that. It's just about complete. We will be meeting with them soon, and making a decision on what type of improvement we want to finalize. And then they'll go to work on the plans. That project should be ready to go in the spring.
Thank you. So my last question then is, are the commissioners committed to fund these additional projects in a timely manner so that they can move from having the documents ready for a bid to actually go to bid? Because my understanding is the funds have to be in place before it can be put to public bid.
I want to state, as we did many times before, that we want to stay on the engineer's schedule. And we've had that schedule for a number of months now, and so far I believe we are.
So I take that as a yes, you are going to fund these
Well,
add-on projects?
That's part of our meeting on Tuesday.
Oh,
We're-
okay.
You know, now that we're getting ready for, to bring in all the plans and we have a better handle on the schedule, now we want to sit down. The next thing, next step is to sit down and make a long-range financial plans, and so that when we get ready to go, the funds are ready to go. So that's
Okay.
that's what we're, you know, like I say, that's the next step. That's where we're going.
Are these meetings that can be viewed or attended by the public?
I'm sorry.
Is the meeting on Tuesday one that can be either viewed or attended by the public?
No, it is not.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Sir. Welcome, Mayor.
Morning. John Marr, 39 Minnewawa Drive, Timberlake. On Ford Road, I guess you mentioned, the engineer mentioned that construction will start, or the plans will be ready in the spring. I guess then it'll go out for bid. That's going to take another process, I guess. So ultimately, when will that job be completed? I mean, how many years will it take before that road gets open? It's been closed over a year. Last couple of weeks, I mentioned about possible ways to open that road up to get it open safely. And Tracy did mention that for a couple $100,000, they can probably get a year or two out of it. And that would basically buy us some time to basically get a good set of plans and specs together, go out to bid, get some good competitive bids. Because I know as a contractor, if engineers rush plans and specs and they're not perfectly accurate, a contractor will capitalize on that and try to go for change orders. To not be put in that position, I think we should take a pause. I looked at the bridge again personally. I think personally, as I've done many, many rehabilitation jobs for the Northeast Iowa Regional Sewer District, for the Army Corps of Engineers, we've done a lot of consolidation grouting, we've done a lot of wing walls, we've done a lot of cast in place concrete. We've done a lot of structural repair. And I believe, my personal opinion, again, I'm not an engineer, but I am a contractor, 40 years experience by trade. I believe that could be, we can buy a couple more years out of it and get it repaired safely so that we can basically get a good set of plans and specs drawn up, get a good estimate, get some good competitive bidding so that we're not overpaying for something. Like maybe Williams Road, we're not going to go out to competitive bid. I know we're going to work with a contractor, but again, we're going to be at their mercy. Whatever they charge us, that's what we're going to have to pay. So anyway, I would just like to, ask again, is there any possible way we can revisit possibly until we get the plans and specs and the money especially funded for Ford Road? If we can look at maybe repairing that and opening it up for a couple of years, buy a couple of years before we go with the replacement of the bridge. Thank you.
Do you want to comment, sir?
Well, my answer to you is that we will take your comments under consideration and we will move forward in what we feel at our office is the best interest in the citizens of Lake County.
Thank you for your consideration. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay, continuing the first public comment portion. Is there anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Anyone else at all? All right, very good. Madam Clerk, moving on, I believe it's item 2.
In the Utilities Department, resolution approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost in the amount of $880,000 for Grace Court Trunk Sewer Rehab Phase 3, project number 462S 2023, and advertising for bids for the same, bid opening September 13th, 2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing release of retainage in the amount of $38,000 with United Earthworks LLC for Cell C4 Expansion Phase 6, Part D Cell Preparation Project 421L 2019 for the Lake County Department of Utilities.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
And Job and Family Services Department, resolution approving Lake County Department of Job and Family Services vouchers, date of warrant August 25th, 2023, in the amount of $809,727.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution authorizing execution of an agreement between the Lake County Board of Commissioners on behalf of the Lake County Sheriff's Department and Communications Workers of America, AFL-CIO Local 4340, Cooks and Clerks, expiring March 31st, 2026.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. President,
Sir.
I would just like to thank the Chief Deputy for his hard work in these union negotiations. There's quite a few unions in the Sheriff's Department. It's been almost a full-time job for him and the Sheriff, but they've done a great job in reaching fair conclusions and recognizing the needs of all of their officers and employees. So we thank you for that extra effort and hard work.
Very good. Thank you, sir. If there's nothing further, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $1,201,332.49.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $1,301,007.54.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash and appropriations within various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes. Moving on to departmental reports. Utilities.
Thank you, Commissioner. We opened bids yesterday for a waterline improvement project in Wilwick on Lakeshore Boulevard. We got 3 bids, and we're happy with the low bid from Bentley Excavating, parent low bid. Bids are under review now, but we are happy it came in close to what the engineer's estimate is. And I guess the only downside is we only had 3 bidders. Where a project like this 3 or 4 years ago, we probably would have had 8 or 10 bidders. But we're happy with the price and look forward to this project.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Anything for utilities? All
Mr.
right.
President.
Sir.
That was like the second or third time you had to go to bid on that? Is that true?
This is the first one on this one.
This one,
project,
okay.
yeah. We
Yeah,
have
that
had
was-
a couple that we've had to rebid though.
Yeah, well, I just remember the talk about it for a long time, so,
It's been around. Yeah.
yeah.
Very good. Job and Family Services.
No report today, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. County Administrator, no report. Very good. Moving on to Clerk. Madam Clerk.
Yes, the next Commissioner meeting is scheduled for Thursday, August 24th at 10 a.m.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Legal.
No report, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President,
Sir.
how are you getting by without Mr. DeLeon?
Who? We miss Judge DeLeon very much in the office, and I wish I could send him some contracts to review, but he's doing other things.
Well, I would just share that we had his swearing-in ceremony in the juvenile court, and Justice Dieters, Judge Collins, kicked off his term as juvenile court judge in a very special way. It was an honor to be there with Prosecutor Colson, yourself, and the commissioners, so many others, to recognize the moment in Lake County history, and we will miss him a great deal, but we're grateful you're there to hold down the fort.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, moving on to old business. Do you have any old business? Any old business? Just a quick update. We did have the NOACA Regional Public Engagement at Lakeland Community College the other night. Commissioner Plechnik was kind enough to join us. I would characterize the meeting as very productive. I think we learned some lessons from earlier in the year when we tried to do multiple counties all at the same time. These smaller groups make the difference. We were actually able to do breakout sessions and actually glean a great deal of information from the community, and some of the themes that were coming through loud and clear is education and continued public engagement. We just need to all make sure we're saying the same thing, preaching from the same page, in the same book. That makes a huge difference. So I say look forward to some more good things, and again, our alignment is with federal regulations, and we're keeping personal opinions and all that other stuff out of it. So that actually really made a huge difference in the presentation and the level of engagement. I think everybody went away feeling satisfied that their voices were in fact heard, and their thoughts and concerns are actually making it into the dialogue. So that is a huge difference from the feelings from earlier in the year. So if there's no other old business, I'll move on to new business. Any new business? All right, hearing none, second public comment portion. Anyone wishing to address the board in the second public comment portion? Seeing and hearing none, we did have a request for personnel employment for an executive session. That is no longer required, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes, thank you for joining us today. This meeting stands adjourned.